Hi, good morning, Lagos Housewife here with another Monday Bible story. Today we are going all the way to King David's family. Yes, and I'll be talking about his first son, Amnon, but it's going to involve quite a number of people. So we all know Amnon was David's firstborn from his wife, Ahinoam. I just hope I'm pronouncing all these names correctly. Ahinoam. And yes, the time he now developed a crush on his house sister, Tamar. So, Tamar is Absalom's sister, full sister. They are from the same mother, Maacah. Their mother's name is Maacah. So he was so obsessed with Tamar, he could not eat, he could not sleep. And then he had this friend, Jonadab. Now, Jonadab was not only his friend, he was also his cousin. The father of Jonadab was Shimei, one of David's elder brothers. So Jonadab was Amnon's friend, very close friend. And then Jonadab asked him, "What is wrong with you? Why are you growing leaner and leaner? Are you not going to tell me what the issue is?" And Amnon said, "It's because of Tamar, my sister. I'm so in love with her." And Jonadab was like, "Okay, I know what you should do." Now, the Bible calls Jonadab a crafty man. Some versions use a cunning man. Some use a devious man. So that's to tell you the kind of character he has. So Jonadab told Amnon, said, "Pretend to be ill. Then when your father, the king, comes to see you, tell him, I want my sister Tamar to come to my house and cook for me, and she will feed me." In those days, the king's daughters, they were kept in their own separate chambers in the palace. They were not allowed to just move around anyhow. It was a way of preserving them. So anytime they wanted to go out, they needed the king's permission. And of course, they will have royal guards following them. So as planned, David went to Amnon's house to check on him when he was told Amnon was ill, as the firstborn. And Amnon told him, "Please let my sister come and cook for me in my house and everything," just as Jonadab advised. And David granted the request. So Tamar came, she cooked for him and everything, and then when she went to feed him, he refused. And then he said, "Everybody should get out of the house. Everybody should get out of the house and leave only him and Tamar inside." And then he said Tamar should come to the bedroom to feed him. And she entered to feed her brother, and he grabbed her hand and pulled her and was saying, "Come and sleep with me." And she said, "No, my brother, please do not do this. This is a disgraceful thing. The king will not deny you if you tell him you want to marry me." In those days, they used to marry their stepsisters and everything. He said, "The king will not deny you. Speak to the king, please, I beg you." But because he was stronger than her, he forced her and he raped her. And then when he was done, the Bible said he hated her. That's to tell you that is not love at all. At all. If it's love, number one, he would not have forced her. He would have gone about it the rightful way. And number two, how do you suddenly hate someone you profess to have been so much in love with simply because you've had your way with her? So he told her, "Get out." She started crying. "Please don't do this. As in, you sending me away is even worse than the rape. Please, I beg of you, cover my shame." And he called his servant and said, "Throw this woman out." You can imagine the word he now used for her. "Throw this woman out." And they threw Tamar out. And the king's daughters used to wear colorful robes, the virgin daughters. They used to wear colorful robes and everything. She tore her robe, piled ashes on herself, and was wailing. And Absalom, her brother, told her, "Has Amnon, your brother, forced himself on you?" He said, "Don't cry, come." And because she had been raped, she was no longer a virgin. She could no longer go back to her quarters. You can see the injustice done against her. She could no longer go back to the king's daughter's quarters because The only way she could live with the right way was if she married or if she remains a virgin and stays there. None of this happened. She wasn't married and she was no longer a virgin. So because of that, Absalom took her into his own house, and it was reported that she lived the rest of her life with Absalom. So we can say she really never did get married. It was a great injustice. That's just the way I can say it. But now, here is the lesson I want you to get from this. Who are the friends around you? Who are the friends advising you? And you know, the Apostle Selman always used to say something. He always says, if you are friends with 6 foolish people, he said you are the 7th one. If you are friends with 6 wise people, you are the 7th wise person. That's to tell you the people you move with will determine your character. Jonadab was said to be a crafty man, a devious man, a cunning man. And look at the person Amnon was moving with. That was the person that was his friend. Safe to say there are some tendencies in both of them that makes them agree together, because the Bible says, can 2 walk together except they agree? Who are the people you keep as friends? Who are the people advising you? Even if you have certain negative tendencies in you, if you have a friend who is on the right path, you'll be able to advise you, and at least you'll be able to see in that character that this person is behaving good. Let me too learn from him. But you remember what the Bible says: bad company corrupts good manners. Whoever you are working with is a great influence on you. Jonadab was a terrible influence on Amnon. The story has not ended here, because after this happened, the Bible records that David heard and he was very angry, but there was no record of him ever doing anything about it. He didn't punish Amnon, he didn't address the issue, and there was no record of him ever going to Tamar or doing anything to restore her dignity. And when I continue next week, we will see the chain of events this unleashed: Amnon's action and David's inaction. So I'll see you again next week, Monday, with another Bible story, or rather with the continuation of this Bible story. See ya.